TRW, Rio Grande, Battle of Valverde. No idea what I'm doing, or even if I'm close to doing this right. I guess I'm just going to push on with the melee following fire combat. I did find more about. I found more about defensive fire. Interesting rules organization here. All right, melee, in command infantry. Okay, my Delta Company, 1st U.S. Cavalry. I mean, he's definitely in command. He's yeah, I'm assuming he's in command just because he's within command span, regardless of the fact that Roberts isn't taking part in this action. Yeah. So in command infantry and cavalry may melee any enemy units in their zones of control. Out of command and artillery units may not melee. You know, if I declared, yeah, you have to choose, so I would have had to choose fire and then melee at the start here before rolling on the turn continuation table, except that I'm not doing that here because this is an initiative bonus. Okay, so I fired and disrupted the Confederates here. There. So I'd have to melee. It's not a may. I have to melee. Melee is a combat action and may be conducted with a preceding fire combat. That's what I did. By any of the attacking units. Ranged fire is not allowed. That makes sense. It's interesting in parentheses here. Melee without fire is usually undertaken only by mounted cavalry. This is mounted cavalry here. I was wondering, see, you have free fire, which I'm still not exactly sure what it is, but I also haven't gotten there yet. Melee, and then there's fire and then melee. And I'm wondering, the first time I saw the 3 different kinds of combat action, I was thinking, actually, I still have the question: why would you ever just melee without firing and then melee? I don't know, but again, in parentheses here, melee without fire is usually undertaken only by mounted cavalry. I assume I was able to fire. I have a range of 1 there. How do I know I'm not able to fire? Oh well, not sure about that. I'm assuming I can fire, so why would I not fire? When melee and fire are combined in one action, not all units must fire. At least 1 unit must fire. Oh, unless you want to save ammo. At least 1 unit must fire, and such fire must be directed only at units about to be meleeed. A unit does not have to melee, but if it does, there are certain requirements. If a unit fired before melee, which Delta Company here did, it or another friendly unit must melee all enemy units at which it fired. If there was no preceding fire, well, we don't have that. A single unit may melee more than 1 enemy unit, but it may never split. It can't split, 2 or more separate melees. Okay, here we go. Defensive fire. Another part of defensive fire. Prior to resolving the melee, which I'm trying to get to, but after any preceding fire within the same action, that's where we are. We are after preceding fire of the same action. The defending player may defensive fire with any of his units that are either about to be meleeed or adjacent to a friendly unit about to be meleeed. He may fire at any, but not necessarily all, of those attacking units that are in his firing unit ZOCs. Defensive fire. Ooh, that is rough writing. I'm not showing this, but the editing has some issues. Defensive fire is conducted in exactly the same fashion as fire combat. Well, that's good to know, because I already went through section 8.1. What's ammunition resupply? Okay. Let's see. Except that it is not an action, it requires no TCT or dice roll. That makes sense. Artillery multiplies. I'm not doing artillery. A unit may defensive fire only once per action. Yeah. There is no advance after defensive fire. After the defending player has resolved all of his defensive fire, the attacking player now resolves all remaining melees in any order he wishes. All right, let's go on to the fire, because obviously they're disrupted. I already went through the effects of disruption. It doesn't. I don't see that it can't. I don't see that it can't defensive fire except there's a penalty. So, which is what? It is. There's a 1 left fire column shift if they fire defensive fire. Now, we want to make sure that well, it would be nice if that's included. Yes, it is. It is on the table. Adjustments to fire results column. 1 to the left for disrupted. So it's mounted cavalry adjacent hex times 1, so it's 4. Modifiers. Target is mounted cavalry, but the firing unit's mounted cavalry too, so that that cancels out. It's disrupted, 1 left. I don't think there's a train modifier. So it is 1 left. Now we get back to a massed target. So now we have. I assumed that the Confederate cavalry at strength of 4 was not a massed target, but here the Union unit is strength 6. That seems to me closer to, I don't know, maybe a cutoff for massed target. So how do we know what is a massed target? Massed target. Massed target. Facing formation, zones of control. Is it under stacking? Stacking. Yeah, okay. If there is more than 1 infantry cavalry unit in a hex, that hex is considered a massed target, and a unit firing against such hex gets a 1 rightward fire column adjustment. Okay, so it's a matter of number of units, not strength. Okay, so it is 1 left for the Confederates being disrupted. So there we go. They roll a 3. They start on the 3 to 5 column. They have to go left 1. So it's on the 1 to 2 column, and 3 is no effect. Okay. So that was defensive fire. Well, I guess I'll leave that out. So now we're going to go to melee. Melee, there we go. After defending fire, defending player has resolved all his defensive fire. Attacking player now resolves all remaining melees. He compares the strength of the attacking units with those of the defending units, stated as an odds ratio. Ooh. Yeah, I thought this wasn't going to be good, but 6 to 4 is 3 to 2. There's a 3 to 2 column. Yeah. There's a 3 to 2 column. That's not going to be very good. So I think it's just straight traditional. Makes column adjustments. Rolls 1 die, applies the results. Mounted cavalry units that are not charging, countercharging, I haven't done that yet, have their printed strengths, retaining fractions. But is that on both sides? Well, I guess it doesn't specify that it's not. So I guess it's, yeah. I think. Okay, all right. 3 to 2 column. Let's see what there are separate modifiers. Any melee. So these are the melee column adjustments. Yeah. Any meleeing units are attacking into, through the enemy's flank or rear, or defenders routed. No. Terrain effects. We are meleeing into the grove. Oh, which does not have an effect, which actually makes sense. We're so close in. Any defender that has high morale. I think high morale is right, but no, they're just. Oh, I do have to check. Do they qualify as not being high morale. No effects. High morale. Full strength, no step losses. That's funny. So it's all about step losses, not the disrupt. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is actually not necessarily a bad thing. I don't think disrupted always has to have it doesn't have to have a morale effect, at least not directly. There might be an indirect morale effect. Okay. So I guess they are still, because we have these step loss counters. Where is it? There it is. There are 4 levels of morale. I like that, by the way. High, good, fair, and broken. Just want to make sure that they definitely do not qualify. A full strength unit with a step loss marker have good morale. Reduced strength, fair morale. Reduced strength with step loss, broken morale. So here morale is directly related to losses, quote unquote, not disruption. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, so that does not apply. Oh, I'm sorry, it does. Any defender has high morale. I guess they have high morale. They're disrupted, but they have high morale. So 1 left. Any defender has fair morale, broken morale, high morale. Attacker has fair morale. Attacker has broken morale. Charging is... Oh, that's it. Just 1 down, 1 left for the defender having high morale. So 3 to 2 goes down to a 1 to 1 column. So rolling on the melee table, which is an odds table. Oh, man. 1. I assume that's bad. X plus DR. X plus DR. So I guess I guess I have directions here. Both attacker and defender lose 1 step each, and attacker retreats 1 hex. I'm sorry, defender retreats 1 hex. Trying to figure out if high is good or low is good. I'm not even sure about that. Okay, so let's give them step losses. Both get step losses, and the defender's going to retreat 1. So they're disrupted, I guess. Step loss. Going to retreat 1. I guess they're still disrupted. I'll make sure I didn't miss something there. And now the Union Cavalry. Which, by the way, I guess they get an action 1 marker now. Overall combat effects. Melee. Cavalry charge. Combat tables. Okay. A unit is forced by melee to retreat. Moves 1 hex away from the attacker. Obviously. So, do I advance? Do I advance? Mounted cavalry that is about to be meleeed. I didn't want to do retreat before combat. Rally and rout. do I... So a unit force, this is not relevant to what's on the board right now, but a unit force retreat across the sand dune is automatically disrupted. So I think I like that losses are tracked separately than, I guess, organization. What was that? Lose one step. DR. Oh, again, do I have to advance? May I advance? If the defender vacates a hex as a result of melee charge, the attacker must advance one of the attacking units into that vacated hex. Well, there we go. And I'm assuming I can change facing. Guess I do have a lot of assumptions, making a lot of assumptions here, aren't I? There. Oh.